Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here. It is another day of the World Cup, and guys, what a mad weekend it's been. Crazy. I think today has been a real roller coaster. Again, the early games, I feel like they're always some sort of a disappointment in the early games in terms of watching it as a neutral. I missed the Japan game completely. I don't think I missed too much there. But as the day went on, the drama intensified. The drama rolled up. We all knew tonight the big one was going to be Spain-Germany. And yeah, the scoreline was, it wasn't 0-0. It was one each. But decent chances end to end. And it was one of those games where not normally, but you worry in the group stages that the big teams, maybe get a little bit too, I don't know what the word is, but yeah, I don't know if it's quite cautious, but just try and play it a bit more safe than anything else, I suppose. And then the match ends up going quite stale and, whatever. But I feel that both teams had set up to try and counter each other's strengths and weaknesses and whatever. And as the game evolved, the substitutions reflected both managers' interpretation of the match. And, I think from, just to be blunt, right, anyone that's watching this, I'm definitely talking to you, right? But any educated football fan watching that, it's a good game to watch. You can appreciate the substitutions, you can appreciate the shape and how they're all kind of playing, and it's still quite entertaining. It was still quite fast paced, it was still quite direct. Both teams did try and win the game really at all times, almost at all costs. So yeah, I did quite enjoy it, to be honest with you, as far as some of these bigger matches that we've seen so far that have perhaps been a bit more of a disappointment. I really rather much enjoyed it. Honestly, I was so close to a fucking perfect moment in my Sorare career. Even though it wouldn't really have done anything for me, no, it wouldn't have done anything for me at all, personally. But right at the end, when fucking Goretzka went all the way back to his own half and won the ball, turned it over, carried a bit, and then sprayed the ball down for Sané to get into the. I was like, oh my god, see if Sané scores here, Goretzka Sané, that'd have blown my mind. Yeah. No Carlos Soler, Ferran Torres didn't do anything, so it was one of those ones. For me personally, there wasn't really much riding on it per se. I could just kick my feet back and enjoy it. There's a bunch of you here live already, so thanks to everyone that is joining us live across all the platforms that we're streaming across today. The Global Cup, so the Global Cup, the fantasy football element of the World Cup, as we all know, everyone who's watching this will know that already. We're halfway through match day 2. Now, I didn't do a stream yesterday. Did we do one on Friday? I don't think we did. So there's maybe a little bit of stuff to catch up on. So at some point in the stream, we'll do all the usual stuff that we've been doing throughout the Global Cup, where we'll visit the top 20 in the leaderboard. We'll look at the runners and riders, the heroes and the zeros, the winners and losers, all across the place, positionally, as well as on the leaderboard itself, as well as in my private league. So in my private league, I've got a bunch of different prizes that are going out. If you finish in the top 3, of course, there's amazing prizes up there. VIP tickets to Celtic Park, tickets to St. Pauli, etc. I'm going to do a raffle before the World Cup final, and any 3 random people in my league, 2 of them will win a St. Pauli shirt from this year, and that's always good, football clobber, if you know what I mean. As far as cool football shirts go, St. Pauli every season is definitely in amongst that. This season's shirt, it must be said, probably isn't amongst their all-time greats in that respect, but all the same, it's a free shirt. And one of them, so there'll be a third one, and that'll be signed by the entire squad. And that's a total random raffle before the World Cup final. So if you haven't joined my private league, there's a link in the description, there's a link in my bios, any social media you find me on, the link is everywhere, you cannot miss it. But one of my biggest prizes, and probably my favourite prize I'm giving away, is a Celtic shirt from this season signed by the squad. And that's going away to the team that has the best Celtic player in it on each match day of the group stages, basically. So for match day 1, the winner was Callum with 1L, 1998. And then this match day, we'll see who it is. So that only leaves one place left for match day 3. So even if you've not got a Sorare account, and again, if you're not watching this, if you are watching this, you probably do, right? But if you didn't, you can still enter for match day 3, even if you've drafted your team, if you've got Moy, if you've got Juranovic, and you've not entered yet, you could still come into match day 3 and potentially get a ticket for that. Match day 2, of course, is ongoing. Match day 1 is done already. So I'll have a wee look at the private league as well, and we'll maybe see if there's any Juranovic entries quite high up, because Juranovic got a decisive action today. And it was against Alistair Johnson, of course, of Canada. And that game had some jeopardy in it, definitely had some drama. But we'll get the fist bumps out as well to everyone that is joining us live before we go any further. The first one in the chat, the man, the myth, the legend that is everyone's favourite German, of course, Channy Sports, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Ian Sorare, fist bump, good to see you, as well as Shaka Boom, Joe Ducey, Tevin Bascom, Red or Dead, Laurent Muse, Jamie, and I think I saw the fist bumps. Joe Ducey's wife is sitting at 107 with tomorrow left. Would be interesting to see where she'd be with the decisive action. Messi and Griezmann get me off to a good start, but De Bruyne and Cancelo ruin it. Rinse and repeat for Jamie there. I love the St. Pauli Gegen side. No, I can't say. I don't know what that says. I don't know how to pronounce that either. So I'm not going to. De Bruyne sucks. Yes, De Bruyne has been sucking hard, man, in this match day in particular for me. In my Global Cup, like, it's just... I should have just stuck to my guns and picked Theo Hernandez, really. Van Dijk, again, 46. But at least Emi Martinez done okay. And then I thought I was being a clever bugger, didn't I? I dropped Lautaro Martinez for Minamino. Lautaro Martinez scored 33, and I thought, oh, brilliant. This is definitely now going to pay off. Now, it might not pay off amazingly, but it cannot not pay off now. And then Minamino starts on the fucking bench again and only gets like 10 minutes. He almost, I don't know if he almost, but there was a very contentious opportunity for a penalty win maybe for Minamino. Alas, it wasn't to be. And De Bruyne, as we're all talking about in the live chat, sucked hard today, man. So the Global Cup for me, man, like, I'm really waiting for the knockout stages, and I kind of know the kind of guys I want to draft in already, and I'm just hoping that Van Dijk's scores can improve, Griezmann can get his act together, and as long as the Martinezes are fighting around it, I maybe only really need to replace De Bruyne with any additional drafts that we do. And it's going to be really interesting now, because I think all of us going into match day 3 will be thinking about, right, who's now going to qualify? Who's now going to get out the group? Who am I going to keep in my roster? And who have I discovered is a waste of space, or who cannot be relied upon? So it's going to be really interesting tactically now, I think, from everyone in the Global Cup when we get to the end of the group stages, and we see exactly who's qualified and who hasn't. So yeah, quite disappointed in my own performance for the Global Cup for this game week itself. But as I say, there's still plenty more of a tournament yet to go. So Minamino, again, like, I was so sure, man, for 6 points he was going to be an absolute bargain to be nicking. 2 seconds, I just need to fix a setting over here. Is it this one? Sorry, guys. There we go. Is it that one? Nope, it's not that one. Is it that one? There we go, that'll do. Awesome. So yeah, wee bit disappointed by him. In terms of my actual other teams, and we don't normally do this on these streams, but here I am. Here I find myself at the moment. I was playing with one man down anyway, and the goalkeeper, of course, but in my head I killed this lineup. But yeah, lineups. I'm not going to worry about that because I didn't have any plans for the World Cup anyway. But the Spain-Germany game, the one we've just came out with, I put the tweet out before we came out live. And if you found me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you found it, of course, hit a wee like and a retweet goes a long way to helping a man out. But for me, the big difference in the second half for Germany was getting Gnabry, Gundogan, and yes, Muller coming off did change the team, but it was all about getting Musiala into that central position, having Hoffman and Sané out on the wide areas, and then you just put Musiala in the middle and let him be Musiala. And yes, Füllkrug get the goal. Füllkrug did look more impressive. I mean, you compare his statistics to Thomas Muller's in this exact match. Füllkrug way out, got more touches in the box, more shots away, all that kind of stuff. But I think Muller, if he had Musiala behind him and then wide players like Hoffman and Sané on, I think Germany could have a totally different match. I must also say, by the way, as well, I was very impressed with Schlotterbeck coming in as a pseudo left back, and I thought that was really interesting At first, I thought, like, it kind of caught me by surprise. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they maybe going to try and do some sort of three at the back thing and maybe push Klosterman a bit higher? But no, they just kept him in as a kind of left centre back, almost like Sula does when he plays right back, or Kerriher was kind of doing when he was playing right back. And also got a last man tackle here from the bench, pulls off a decisive action, which is beautiful to anyone that did continue to play Schlotterbeck from match day one. They've absolutely won a watch here. Fantastically. But when Germany were pushing for it right at the end, they were able to go and really stuff the box full of big targets. They still had Goretzka, they had Sula, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck, Klosterman isn't exactly a midget, and Füllkrug and Hoffman, so as the game went on and they made these changes, I thought that's actually really clever because Schlotterbeck is good enough to play that left, almost like left centre back in a back three, but you're in a back four kind of vibe. And then like Schlotterbeck is very capable in the other end of the box, for a corner and direct free kicks, this kind of thing. So I thought it was a really impressive second half from Germany in a kind of rallying kind of sense. But like I also said in the kind of tweet for before tonight, like I did feel that this is points dropped for Spain. The kind of early dominance they showed in the match and how many opportunities they were able to get into the box and in and around the final 18 yards with some kind of fluid moves. The chances they missed, and I know Ferran Torres, for his sitter, he was offside, so it's not really going to be something he has nightmares around necessarily, but it did, Spain should have had more than one goal in this game before Germany got themselves back into it. Alvaro Morata come off the bench, gets a goal, lovely finish, quite enjoyed it as well. The whole play and build up to it as well. I really enjoyed Dani Olmo in this Spain team. Gavi and Pedri were brilliant in spells, and Laporte and Rodri at the back, man. And Unai Simon, very solid defensively. And that makes Spain, Spain are one of the most impressive teams in the group stages. I just think the last 20 minutes of this game, maybe in midfield, and how many subs did they have? 4. They brought in Koke for the end. I didn't even really notice Koke came on the pitch, so instead of Koke, maybe somebody like a Soler or even a Marcos Llorente, somebody that's a bit busier than Koke might have helped Spain a bit more. But yeah, I didn't even notice Koke was on the pitch, man. Who did he come on for? Asensio and Koke and Gavi in that same kind of, so Gavi technically. Yeah, so interesting. The earlier games that we had today as well, as we had Japan-Costa Rica. That was the very first match of the day, I'm sure, wasn't it? They lost to Costa Rica 1-0. I caught the very end of this game as the goal went in. I seen the goal, I seen the kind of back end of it. And I think Germany, I'll catch up with you guys in the live chat because you guys are letting me know what you think from the Germany-Spain game. And I encourage you to do so, guys. If you've just came off the Spain-Germany game, let me know your thoughts. Where was the game won and lost? Who's the winner? Who's the loser? I know it's a draw, but you know what I mean when I say that. And let me know in the live chat wherever you're catching this, wherever you're listening or watching. But yeah, I did feel like, when I seen the team and then when I was watching Japan, I thought this guy is just trying to sniff his own farts a bit too much, and they did the same thing that he tried to do against Germany, where it's like start with this team and really wear the other team out and grow into the match and then bring on Ito. I know Ito started against Germany, but Ito, Asano, Mitoma, Minamino, bring these guys on as the game goes on and then try and use their legs to kill the game. But Costa Rica are cool, really cool with defending for the entire game. They're really cool with that. So Japan wasted this game on their strategy, really, for me. They should have started like everyone expected them to, the way they finished against Germany and went and attacked from minute one. Because if Costa Rica had to actually come out and attack for any period of the match, really, that would have opened up more spaces for Japan. And as the game goes on, the strength and depth they've got with pace in the attacking positions, I just feel that would have fed much more into Japan's hands. And but it wasn't to be. And now the final game of this group now is actually hanging by a knife edge. I think people were talking before the final game that there was a permutation where Germany could qualify on 3 points somehow, I think, or something like that. I forget how it was going, but that group now, as we find it, yeah, look at that, man. 4 points for Spain, 3 for Japan, 3 for Costa Rica, and 1 for Germania down at the bottom. So yeah, Germany need to destroy Costa Rica, and they need to hope that Spain beat Japan, because otherwise, if Spain draw with Japan, it will come down to goal difference, and that will probably will favour the Germans at this stage. It goes goal difference, then goals scored, and then it goes head to head. I heard from the commentators. So yeah. really hanging by really tightly contested group, it must be said. Now, the other group that played their matches today was full of drama as well. Now, I was quite, when the Croatia game started, I thought, this is actually going to be a really open game. A goal in the first couple of minutes from Fonzie Boy, first World Cup goal for Canada. Everyone's buzzing. Everyone thinks, oh, here we go. This is going to be a slobber knocker, as somebody once upon a time used to say. And it kind of was, but not in the way I thought it was. We probably thought it was going to be a bit more end to end. Canada might have threatened to get the 3 points for a bit longer in the game, might have had another goal or two, but again, it just didn't really come to pass for them. And Kramaric was amazing, could have had a hat-trick in more than one way today. Kovacic gets all the plaudits, former Real Madrid, current Chelsea midfielder, of course. Double-double from him, huge point, getting potential. I don't think Kovacic was that widely picked by anyone I've seen, really, even when we've examined the leaderboards in the private leagues. Kovacic, really, I don't think any Croatian midfielders outside of Modric really pop up. Meyer with a 61 off the bench. Brozovic started this game. But yeah, I felt bad for Canada towards the end because they did start so well. And, for the most parts of this game, like 4-1 is not a fair reflection on how dangerous Canada were in this game at all, or how tight it was, especially in the first half in particular, But what Croatia did in this game is precisely what Belgium couldn't do. Precisely. Because at long periods in this game, this game was painful to watch, man. It was just dead as a dodo. It was just dry. Nothing was happening. Belgium had no ideas. This Onana guy, and Witsel, it just didn't work. Did not work at all. I thought it took far too long for, again, I don't even know where to start with this team. It was just like part-timers, really. That's kind of probably the best way of summing it up, is they just all looked like part-timers, all in second gear. And Morocco didn't really have much to really trouble them, to be honest with you, but they never gave up. And Ziyech, he produced some magic today, and fair play to him. And overall, Morocco, they just never gave up. And because Belgium, as soon as they go behind, the pressure of expectation is super heavy. It's like gravity X10 on them. Forces them to come out, and then obviously Morocco go and make it 2-0 at the end. And it's a resounding victory for them. And that group now, and I say, what Belgium couldn't do is what Croatia did do. They just kept going to their tactics. They kept playing to their strengths. They kept grinding away. And eventually they made some chances. They got some shots away. The shots were good enough. They made some goals. Belgium just never really done that. If we look at stats here, big chances 2, shots on target 3. 89% pass accuracy. Let's compare that. I've not done this in advance. This might not pan out. Shots on target 10. There you go. Big chances created 6. So. And what was the possession? Less. So that different styles of play, of course, come into that also. But so hats off to Croatia for me, right? Any doubts I had about Croatia, I've kind of eased off a bit. But Belgium now play Morocco in the last game. I beg your pardon, play Croatia in the last game. And, this is a really funny one, right? Because quite clearly, Canada do not want to leave this World Cup on 0 or 1 points. They want to get a win. They do feel like they should have had a better result against Belgium. They'll definitely feel like, the 4-1 result against Croatia doesn't do them any justice. So they will be looking for redemption or vindication against Morocco. And so if you expect that, and we get that, let's say Canada beat Morocco, then they're on 3, Morocco are on 4, and then that means it's a straight kind of fight between Belgium and Croatia, because if Belgium beat Croatia, there's a good chance they're going to take a good bit of their goal difference away, and that might kick them out. So this group is this. When the results were going in on this group, this gave me kind of vibes. When Canada went 1-0 up, I thought this is going to be like that group that was in the Conference League or the Europa League, where it was like Lazio, Midtjylland, Feyenoord, Sturm Graz or something. And they were all on 8 points after 4 games or something ridiculous. And I got that kind of vibe with this group earlier today, until obviously Croatia went on and won it in the end. So yeah, quite looking forward to seeing how both these groups pan out together on the last day, I think. Yeah, I think these groups are married up, so they'll climax together. So that could be interesting. That could be fun. Any heroes and zeros and stuff like that. Courtois, worst scorer, and again, we're talking about, this is something I've seen on match day 1 with the Global Cup, is Yeah, the peak scores are great, but over a 3-game sample, how many guys are going to stay cream of the crop? And Courtois was right up in among. In match day 1, he was the number 1 goalkeeper. Now, in match day 2, he definitely must be in the bottom 3. So it's all change in the goalkeeper stakes for him. In this game, no clean sheets, so no one's going to be impacting. Keylor Navas, again, I don't know if he'd have been picked that widely. Gonda, of course, absolutely sucked. Unai Simon and Neuer quite heavily picked goalkeepers in the kind of normal non-clean sheet scores. So, yeah, I don't think there's any. And again, just glancing across midfield, defence, and up front across the games today, I don't see anyone here with anything stellar other than Kovacic on 89. I don't think anyone else done anything spectacular versus some of the scores that were Ziyech and Hakimi have done pretty well. Roman Saiz, but again, I'm not sure if Roman Saiz would have been widely picked. Maybe a bench player at best. But yeah, so quite interesting where we stand at the moment. I want to know, guys, what you are thinking. So Messi and Griezmann. Oh, sorry, I caught that bit already. Took a shot with Juranovic today, but KDB probably let me down, says Joe Ducey. Yeah, I think there's a few people telling me that kind of thing as well. Musiala was pure class, and I think he was better. He's always better, Musiala, when he's on the ball more often and he's wriggling in tight spaces. You want him around the edge of the box with people crowding around him because he knows where the pass is, he knows where the run is for himself to make or one of his teammates might be making. So, yeah, I love seeing Musiala on form. I think Germany should do something more. Fulkrug up top, Musiala and Muller central. Left Rom, take care of wide right, and Gnabry left Sane. Probably still a sub if not. Sorry, Joe, to say the way I've wrote that or the way I'm reading it doesn't make sense. But I think you're kind of wanting to go a bit more strong up top with Fulkrug and Muller centrally. Left, right, reversed on Gnabry. Sorry. Japan were absolutely needing a Hatate. Utter madness that he's not in their team, never mind their squad. Hendel, fist bump, good to see you. Problem with Belgium is the lack of belief and moving the ball too slow. Some weird quotes coming out from KDB and Hazard saying they can't win the tournament as well. Now, Jamie, I heard all that's blatant satire for me. Like, some days obviously said something like, oh, have you seen the comments about, this might be our last peak tournament together, this Belgium golden gent? There'll be stuff like that getting said, and then someone says to him, oh, what do you think's your chances of winning the tournament? And he's just like, that's the way I read it. He's being like satirical. He's just saying, oh yeah, we're too old, we can't win it. We're too old. And he wants to come in and show that he's not too old, obviously. But I think everyone is deliberately like taking it with no tone of voice, because I can't imagine him saying it in a serious tone of voice. He's Kevin De Bruyne, for fuck's sake, So I think that's been really widely misrepresented. I think people are getting on his back for no reason with it. Whereas with Hazard's is a bit different because he's like, he has been a part-timer like in football for the last, since he left Chelsea, really. Definitely hoping for a midfield option. Yeah, definitely. Same for me too, red or dead. Would love to win a good mid to replace KDB. Yep, that we're all hating having KDB club. The Neymar injury and Tagliafico DNP ruined me, says Rico, man. That is a difficult one. Tevin Bascom, currently in the top 10. What a hero. I cannot wait to see that, Tevin. Congratulations, my man. Is that for the game week in particular or for the overall leaderboard? Let's just go and have a look. So this is actually something worth talking about for 2 seconds, right? So this has not been that widely represented, right? But there's a Messi special event where if you buy like any of the limiteds that are on in this, you get some like match tickets or something. If you buy the rares, you get some stuff, and if you buy the unique, you get like a signed Argentina shirt and VIP tickets and all that other stuff. So I recommend you check this out if you were contemplating picking up a Messi card at some point. Anyway, so yeah, there's 10 limiteds. Each auction winner receives 2 regular tickets for 1 League 1 game and some Sorare merch. 2 rare cards, and then they get VIP tickets for the same thing, really. And then the unique, also there's only 1 unique a season, but they get 4 VIP tickets for a League 1 game and some Sorare merch, as well as an Argentina jersey signed by Messi from this World Cup, So yeah, if you were going to buy a Messi anyway, maybe that's worth your attention. So don't miss that. So let's have a look. I'm going to look at the private league first of all, right? Because I'm quite excited about this. Tevin, you're number 1, my man. You're number 1 for this. Is that for this game week or is that overall? Overall, yes, you're number 1, buddy. Tevin, well done. You've got Chesney, you've got Messi, you've got Tio, Di Maria, and Mbappe, and you're sitting 10th overall, buddy. Congratulations. Swiss Mafia, you're number 2 in mine. Unai Simon, Jordi Alba, Leo Messi, Griezmann, Frankie. I love that team. Jules Sorare, Schmeichel, Alba, Kimmich, Messi. We've got a Valencia player. Sorare Josh is 4th. Some familiar names, man. I love to see familiar names at the top of my leaderboard. It's a nice from Sidowski here as well. He's got a Noppert involved. We'll have a look at the top 10 in the hopes that we find a Juranovic, and hopefully it's Hendo since he's here. Hopefully it's any of you. Any familiar names, I'm always happy to see them in the winning. How are you enter my private league and picking mags in your team? Cad face. You don't pick mags. Fair play, I suppose. Unai Simon, Alba, Højbjerg. We've got PSU fans. Friend in the house, Blank Space. Again, a lot of the same teams. He's got an Hakimi Butt, Penleka. Nice team there as well. Rodrigo De Paul in there for him. We'll go to the top 20. Hendo's 12. Oh, Hendo, you've got... Oh, Hendo, you must be. You must be, Hendo. You must be. You're the number 1 so far for this game week. You're in 12. Juranovic on 65. Di Maria 68. Messi 82. Mbappe 85. Szczesny 88 points. Hendo, you're looking good for him, my man. Finster's just above you, but he's got Luke Shaw in defence. And then just behind you, looking good, Hendo. So the top of my leaderboard's on like 800 points combined. That's interesting. I wonder about the overall leaderboard. Now, I'm just going to open up the match day leaderboard. Oh no, is this this is match day? Back in match day 3 now. Hate when it does that. Leaderboard, Global Cup. And is this for this game week? I don't like it on this page. I like it on the... Yeah, I like doing it like this, I think, don't I? Leaderboard, yeah. Right, cool. I'm going to check out the comments and see what you guys are giving it. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're up to. There's a bunch of these here on TikTok and on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you are here from anywhere and everywhere, please do... Why is that hidden? Please do drop a like and comment and let me know what you are thinking from the match tonight between Spain and Germany. Who really won? Who really lost? Who's the winners and losers? Who made the difference? And yeah, if you're in my private league, let me know. Were you in the top 20? I'm 22nd in NBA Common Champion, so guess I will take that, says Rico, man. That's brilliant. Tevin Bascom, he is loving it, man. He's up top. 2 VIP tickets to Celtic Park, Tevin. Wouldn't that be something? Jamie, just let me sell my house, my house, so I can buy that Messi unique. Blank space is my wife, says Joe Ducey. I bet you blank space. There's some jokes in there, Joe Ducey. I'm not going down there. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I've noticed some have 2% XP, but most don't. I think if you've locked your team in early, you missed out. Interesting. Currently 50,000 if with Cancelo to play, says Chileao. Hendo, fingers crossed for the match day win. Love that. She won that Hakimi from game week 1 from blank space. Joe Ducey, fantastic. Great to see that. There's a bunch of these here, guys. Please do drop a like on the chat, on the stream, wherever you're finding me, retweets and all that good stuff. So, the overall leaderboard. I think we want to look at the overall one, don't we? I don't want to look at... Well, let's look at the match day one, right, for a second, I suppose. Let's see who's top of that and what kind of score they've got. So, it's Gobo Star on 447 for this game week. And, yeah, we've got some repeating characters again. We've got Theo Hernandez and Mbappe and Messi really delivering over 2 game weeks. So I think the group stage is going to be quite dominated by this kind of team that's got that French-Argentinian kind of hybrid situation on the go, for better or for worse. So I think if you've picked these kind of guys in the group stages, you're probably going to be flying high for the most part. Tevin, you're 7th, mate. Tevin, you are 7th. Well done, my man. Szczesny, Messi, Theo, Di Maria, and Mbappe. What a fucking team. Well done, my man. Top 7. And what does that get you in the prize pool if you're 7th? You'll get a Star Custom Series, a Star Limited, and yeah, so you're getting all the good stuff, basically. You're just not going to get Messi or Neymar, probably. You'll probably get, like, Kimmich and Lewandowski types, or Pedris and whatever, which would be cool, you know. So that looks amazing. Well done, Tevin. Top 7, man. Well done. Well, Gel. Congratulations, my man. So I want to look at the overall, right? And we'll look at the top 20. Now, I'm trying not to look at anything that's on the screen now, right? So there we go. So in 20th position, the guy's on 821 points. Now, I think the person that was top of my private league was on, like, 800 points or something. So not really that different to the overall standings. And the team that he's had in for this week looks like, yeah, Bellingham's maybe let him down ever so slightly. But yeah, some of these recurring characters. Then we've got Reba, 001 and 19th, Unai Simon, Jordi Alba, Jude Bellingham, Messi and Griezmann featuring again. This guy's got Bruno Fernandes left to run, and he's on 377 points. So up in that top position, we've seen him on 447. Bruno is like 80, 90, 100 capable in the right conditions. So, you know, man, this guy could shoot up from Mitch Mondial. He's in the 18th. So, you know, the podium is still on the cards for him. This team's all ran Ousmane Dembele and Bellingham. Huge scorers from match day 1, letdowns in match day 2. Kovacic has appeared, so he's definitely boosted this team up for match day 1 to 2. Jules 007, I think that's the same team, isn't it? Worden, I remember seeing this guy. Bellingham again. Upamecano, maybe a bit of a letdown from match day 1 to 2 because he scored so high in match day 1, you know. 610 points in total for me. Hopefully I can go out with a bang on game week 3 and redraft a knockout. Yeah, me too. I'm literally halfway in your league position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Red or dead unlucky, my man. Copters Apples, fifth bump, my man. Good to see you. Someone's wife defo playing football with Zidane. How funny will that be, by the way? Somebody's wife has to go and play football with Zidane. It'll be the funniest thing in the world. The 2% boost is a glitch, says Tevin Bascom, is it? So this was Rotskin. He's in 14th position. Frankie de Jong and Lewandowski in this team, so that's interesting with Szczesny and Alba. Asu, 33600 has got the 100 from Tio, and it really feels like you need 3 80 pluses to be in the nosebleed section, eh? 3 80 pluses over 2 games, okay? So that seems important to remember. And then to get any higher than that, yeah, we're really pushing the boundaries here. We've got 4 80 pluses from Anilio Parzial, if I've said that right, to get into the 11th. And then when we get into the top 10, so 10th scores on 831. This is Santa Claus. His team's called Prosecco. I love that. Messi, Mbappe, Di Maria, Tio, and Szczesny. This is the exact same team as Hendo, I think. But instead of Tio, he's got Juranovic. So very interesting selection there. Very popular. Very well researched, I'm sure. Again, very similar team again. I think it's so maybe these guys are on the same points, but not on the overall. That's interesting. Maybe different captain choices in match day 1 or something. Again, very similar team. Szczesny is reigning supreme in this top 10. We've seen Tevin, but there he is again. Yeah, so it feels like Szczesny has been the keeper to have in the group stages. Perisic making an appearance in the top 10 is interesting. Kabyle has got a Saka captain for 36, man. Oh, that is sore. That is sore. Who's this guy? Kabyle. Oh, Jesus. So you are 7th at the moment. Unlucky, my man. 6th even. That is a painful one. Oh, no. 5th Kabyle is... Edmonds in 4th overall. And, wow. Oh, Bellingham. Does Bellingham average out over 2 games is maybe something we're going to see. Who is on the podium? 837 points. Kasper Schmeichel is the first podium goalkeeper we see. De Jong on a 64. Alba, Mbappe, Messi. Hugely strong picks. And second, it's Gobo Star. He's first for this game week, but he's second overall. He's on 839 points. Di Maria, Messi, Szczesny, Tio, and Mbappe. Barry's Bangers is number 1 at the moment in the Global Cup. He's got Szczesny, Tio, De Jong, Messi, and Mbappe. What a team. Barry's Bangers, well done team, my man. That's absolutely fantastic. The next match day is starting in like 2 days' time. We've only got group stage football left for, I think it's tomorrow. Is that right? I think it's just one... No. We've got one more left. Yeah, for match day 2, we've only got... I think we've only got Monday, don't we? Yeah, so we've just got tomorrow, and it's back to, I don't know if this is the boring set, but it's not the most exciting set of games. So Serbia and Cameroon will be the early game tomorrow. And again, I don't see many people. And then Korea versus Ghana. I don't see many people getting too excited for the opening salvo of the World Cup. But I'll do my best to endeavour to watch all of it. Of course, I'm sure you guys will as well. And then we've got Brazil versus Switzerland, which will probably be a very good game to watch. In a similar way to what was the other attack v defence game that we liked recently? If you guys remember, let me know. I've forgotten. And then we've got Portugal, Uruguay, which I feel could be quite similar And for as much as Spain, Germany, we give them plaudits tonight on the stream for how they did try and take advantage of each other's weaknesses and maximise their own strengths in defence and in attack. I think Portugal versus Uruguay will have those same principles, if you like, but in a negative sense, that they're both going to try and negate each other's strengths, So I think Portugal are going to try and hold on to the ball quite a lot, and I think Uruguay are going to try and interrupt play as often as possible. And we'll see. A game like this, Uruguay-Portugal, could be 0-0, could be 1-0, could be 3-3. They're just hard to predict teams, quite flaky. And for this being match day 2, it's a pivotal game for both countries as they look to secure qualification, of course. So let's have a look at the group stages for the final 2 groups that have got match day 2 to run. So yeah, Brazil and Switzerland playing each other, both on 3 points. So whoever comes out with the Serbia-Cameroon game on top will feel that they've got a chance to get out of the group. Portugal, of course, in the driving seat, quite similar position to what Spain were coming into tonight against Germany. Of course, Germany were coming in on 0 points, Uruguay coming in on 1 point, so a tiny bit different in that respect, but point remains. I think that's just the way it's going to go. So I'm actually quite looking forward to the football tomorrow. And then after that, guys, it's going to be amazing, because when we get into match day 3 of the group stages, we get the final games together. So like wherever the time zone is for wherever you are, the final match for Group A, both matches kick off at the same time, finish at the same time, basically. And there's going to be all sorts of great drama, I think, going on for goal scorers and permutations of who's second, who's top. That means they're now going to play Brazil, and that means they'll now avoid France. And, I think all that good stuff is now going to start kicking off after Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think it runs. So I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into all that as the game week goes on. And as I look forward to all of that, I'm looking at these teams, and again, I tried to be the clever bugger and drop Minamino for Lautaro, but I think when I go into match day 3, I think I just need to play Lautaro against Poland. I need to play KDB against Croatia, because I'm not going to play Minamino against Spain. And then KDB's done 54-35 question marks, right? We've just seen Bellingham, what did they do on match day 1? A 90. This match day is done 40, right? So if De Bruyne can do a 100 baddie or something mega on group stage match day 3 or whatever, he might actually could he still maybe outscore the Modric? No, probably not. But he can still probably outscore Bellingham. De Jong match day 1 was 90, match day 2 60. So yeah, he's not going to get anywhere near the top picks. But De Bruyne has a chance to redeem himself. And same with Van Dijk. If he was to get a decisive as well as some decent AA in this Qatar match somehow, then he could ultimately end up finally being of some sort of use to me through the group stages, because I do feel that basically only Griezmann has done anything for me in that respect. I've tried to make some teams as well, and I'm not that excited about making teams, but what I have found actually is I do find it quite fun with some of the underdogs and whatever, because I've got World Cup players as well as League 2 players, Division 2 players. So some of them have been quite fun to make. I've been making DNP teams as well, just to try and get custom series cards, because it just makes sense to, I guess, doesn't it? See, I don't know how I can't play in any other team. But yeah, so I'm just going to have another look at this underdog team, because I've got some League 2 cards that I could be throwing out. And I've got Hakimi, and Rom. Yeah. Got some team, but I've got but again, it's at the moment I'm kind of ready for the World Cup to finish in some respects. I'm really enjoying all this Global Cup stuff, but I'm very much looking forward to Celtic coming back. I want Champions League knockouts to happen. I'm looking forward to seeing the Premier League come back. I'm looking forward to La Liga and all that good stuff. And I was looking at it in the calendar, man, it's not actually that far away. Once we get out the group stages, I think this World Cup is going to fly in. So equally, as much as I think that, I then throw myself back and think, just enjoy it while it's on, because when the World Cup's not on, you'll think, oh, the World Cup was great, wasn't it? And that was going. It's just the way we work, isn't it? People, human beings, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I think I've probably built this team already. I'm just going to build it the same way twice, but I think, See, I had a problem with I wanted to build this team again later on, because I just didn't know what about Gavi. He started again tonight. Does he start against Japan? I think he probably does, but I'm not 100% convinced. Kramaric will play. Of course he will. And then I've got Rom. I said tonight, I don't know if Rom will start again. I don't think it was that great. Again, I'm not going to play Maeda, because he's just So sketchy. Jordan Morris has got a shout, but yeah, I think Rom's the safest pick potentially. And I guess we would captain Kramaric, eh? Or no, probably captain Rom, since he's playing Costa Rica. I should get decisive or something. Yeah. So, not too much going on in that sense. Now, I've actually been quite excited about, I guess, there's a bunch of here. We've been going for about 40 minutes. We've kind of done Global Cup stuff. But by all means, we'll still keep it going. But I don't mind having a wee detour with you while I've got you on. The amount of luck on most of those top 20s to have Teo and play him despite him not starting, then his brother getting injured to come in and crush it. Now, Joe Ducey, you're spot on. There has been way big luck from everyone to pick Teo. And, that's why I need to tell myself why I didn't pick him, because that is just pure luck. But it's the kind of luck that I would normally enjoy, like I've been doing in basketball. So I actually listened to a great episode on Sorare Data NBA. Alex Hooper, Gator Guy, and Laird were talking about strategy and all the rest of it. And right at the death, I changed my lineup builder for basketball after listening to the guys. Because I thought, you know what? I've not been getting anywhere leaderboard-wise over the last game week or two that's been exciting for me. And I was quite excited the first couple of times I was getting into the rewards and some of my guys hit some big scores. And for the last game week or two, it felt like I was still pulling cards, but I was just getting into the crap cards, and that was it. And then I listened to them. And I thought, yeah, do you know what? And I totally mixed up my strategy. And what I did was I played my limited Halliburton and rare champion. And yeah, like Sorare Data reckons I'm going to finish 288. That's okay, right? But Trey Jones, my 1 of 1,000 rare, dropped a 57-pointer with the multiplier. That's juicy. Still got a second game to go for Marcus Smart and Jarrett Allen, who should perform pretty well. But Nick Claxton brought in a 41 on his first match, and Halliburton dropped a 65 before multiplier. So, in Rare Champion, this is where I could maybe get some decent rewards. If Marcus Smart and Jarrett Allen can really improve on their match 1 score, like by a lot, I could get into a tier 2 rare, which in football words, or maybe if tier 3, in football terms, these are all a number up from what we recognise them. In basketball, there is no star. So I was quite happy with that. That made me feel good. And then one of these other teams really went off as well. Was it this one? Is it this one? No, another one of these teams is doing well, I'm sure. Where is it? Maybe I'm imagining things. One of these other teams did really well. Was it this one? Yeah, Rare Contender. Was it Rare Contender? Yes, I'm waiting on him playing again. And I think, no, what team was it? I know this was doing all right. I think it may have been projected better and it's maybe changed now. What was it, this team? I know one of these teams was doing well, I thought. Yeah, Wiggins. Wiggins did well. Maybe he's been opted down. I thought Wiggins scored higher. I thought I had somebody that scored a 70. Where's that Trey Jones? Is he here as well? No. 1,000 of, yeah, the projection keeps changing. So I could get into the top 1,000s with this team with 3 big hitters still to run, and they could increase their score quite significantly. Yeah, man, I could see myself getting quite high in this team with a limited champion outfit as well. So I've quite enjoyed basketball this week, checking the scores and watching out for them. And I actually noticed as well that the NBA, would you call it, the league pass thing or whatever? I think that's anyway, I think I'm going to try and get a wee bit more basketball on for nighttime stuff. I like the NBA stuff. I hope they bring points cap over to football. Yeah, I think there's a place for it in football. I don't know if it needs to be like the staple diet of the SO5 arena or whatever, but I definitely think there's a place for it 100%. But as we're coming to the end of Shake Milton, it's like a cheat code on NBA. I'll take a wee note of that name, Shake Milton. So yeah, I think I'll be online to be winning something this game week from NBA, which is fun. And I'm quite looking forward to getting into this week on the World Cup, because I think this will probably be one of the most entertaining weeks, is like all the final group stage games. And this is where it's going to be all the drama llamas and all the different permutations of who could beat who and who's going to qualify, who's going to fail to qualify, and all that good stuff. There we go, that'll do. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to all that. And then, of course, when we get into the knockout rounds, it's going to be that on every game, because it is then knockout. It's do or die on every match. So yeah, very much looking forward to the next week. I think it's going to be a mad whirlwind. And then I think after this week, it will be a great opportunity. I'm starting to now look ahead. I'm starting now looking ahead. Like I said earlier, I checked the calendar. When do the games come back? How many weeks away are we? And it's not really that long, so planning will start to commence, for when the good stuff comes back, when the real action takes place again. And I look forward to seeing all of these along on the rides for all that stuff as we charge on. At any point in the video today, if you laughed, you learned, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.